Everything happens for a reason. When I was a little kid in Sunday school, our Sunday school teacher used to preach that week in, week out. Being the orderly kid that I was, I would challenge her. What are you talking about? Everything happens for a reason. What about my Aunt Winnie? She said, what about Aunt Winnie? I had an Aunt Winnie. When she was 16 years old, she was at a church picnic. There was another young boy there, her age, 16, who had a .22 rifle, and it discharged accidentally and shot her in the spine and put her in a wheelchair for the rest of her life. So how could you say everything happens for a reason? Her response was always the same. Well, we're just not smart enough to see the big picture. Aunt Winnie was my grandfather's sister, one of 10 children. She was the last. I grew up in the coal regions, Pennsylvania, Plymouth, Pennsylvania. And what happened after the accident? All of the siblings went off to find their fame and fortune. So Aunt Winnie was left home with her parents. Her father died on his 57th birthday. Black lung disease. They didn't know it then. So she was left home with her mother. Years went by, and her mother became blind. So Aunt Winnie was the eyes, and her mother was the legs. A number of years went by, and her mother passed away, and Aunt Winnie ended up in an old folks home. And that's when I first met her. We used to go up and say hello to the ancestors and relatives, and it always included a visit to the old folks home where Aunt Winnie lived. I hated it. It was so depressing. The odors, just old people waiting to die. They used to pull the shades down. They didn't want to see the sunlight. Except for Aunt Winnie. Oh, she was vibrant. All 85 pounds of her. Yeah, she was in a wheelchair, but it wasn't really a wheelchair. It was just a cane-back chair with rollers on the bottom so she could push herself around. She was always happy. Well, years went by, and we got a phone call. She was 83. That it looked like she was going to pass. So we went up to visit. And we went in her room, and we sat there, and we talked for a while, and a minister came in. So my parents and my sister and I excused ourselves to give them some privacy. We figured it'd be 10 minutes, 15 minutes. 20 minutes went by. Half hour, 45 minutes. He finally came out, and there was something wrong. And we rushed into the room, and she said, it's okay, it's okay. She said, that old-timer, a regular minister, was reassigned to another church. And they asked this old-timer to come out of retirement and stop by and say hello. And she turned to my mother and she said, I think you know who that is. That's Pastor Owens. And my mother said, how would I know who that is? Aunt Winnie said, because that's the boy who shot me. He had never talked to her after that accident. She kept track of him. He went into seminary, became a minister, was assigned to churches all across the country, retired, came back into the coal regions to spend his final years, and he was asked to come out and say hello to these old folks. She continued the story. She said, he came in and he said, yes, well, I'm Pastor Owens. And she said, I looked him right in the eye and said, I know who you are. And he said, well, how would you know who I am, dear lady? Because I'm Winifred Jones. She said he dropped to the ground and wept. She said, I put my hand on his shoulder and said, I forgave you a long time ago. A week later, we were called that she had passed away. And we went up for the service. He delivered the eulogy. it started. Everything happens for a reason. Unbelievably, I shot that little girl when she was 16 years